Hello, back again with more split format gameplay. I am over here at the bottom playing goat control, and my opponent is playing perfect circle. So I start off by just setting Thunderhand since I don't really have any plays to make, and then he goes card trooper, mills, and malicious, pretty good. I swing over it, he draws, and I have once this Thunderhand dies, I have this Cyber Dragon on deck to bring it back for the removal effect. He did a lot just now. He played Unknown Synchron since it's like Cyber Dragon but once per duel, and it's a level 1 tuner. And then he went Malicious and Card Trooper for another mill. Didn't hit anything good this time. He's playing the Machine Duplication. And he made this link, which can basically just banish a monster to make one of my guys low attack for the turn. Just like a generic link too, so you have the option. Nothing amazing. And then he's going to go for the second Malicious, or the third Malicious, really. And can make a level 7 synchro here. But I'm going to Torrential Tribute to prevent that. And this does put my Thunderhand in the grave, which is nice. He's going to set a back row and pass. And I draw a BLS, which is cool if I can get a dark. Currently just have 2 lights. But yeah, in this goat control list, it's not really goat control, it's just the goat control card pool. It's kind of like Thunderhand BLS pile. A lot of good Thunderhand targets like Tribe Infecting Virus, Cyber Dragon, and Breaker the Magical Warrior, with 3 Thunder Dragon to pull with them, And then it's 3 BLS and 1 Nord of the Missing Barrows as the actual win cons. And I'm probably playing Gores as well, if I remember right. As just a good dark monster. He's going to summon Strato, search Disc Commander, and swing for 1800. And we're just going to take that. I didn't bottomless the Stratos just because it could just search another Stratos and I'm down a card for nothing. Better to deal with Stratos by attacking over it, Like with Cyber Dragon, a very just so happens to be a very good Stratos counter as long as he doesn't have a trap for it. And he does let the Stratos die. It takes 300, good for me. And I'm avoiding oversetting my back row to not get punished by Heavy Storm. So that's why I've been holding some back row in my hand. But yeah, I just want this Cyber Dragon to stick for a while so I can build up my hand. I'm drawing a lot of light monsters and no darks, which is a little awkward, but the light monsters are good. DD Warrior Lady is another good Thunderhand option. You do have to let it go to the graveyard, meaning if you use her effect, you don't get Thunderhand, but there's a good chance it just gets destroyed by a card effect, or they Fiendish Chain it or something, and then attack over it, and in those cases it still triggers Thunderhand. He has a Treeborn Frog, which is not going to do a lot of good for him with this limit reverse on the field. And I do go ahead and set the Judgment. We're going to let this Card Trooper resolve, it's not really scary. And it looks like he's going to pass, because he's afraid of my face down, potentially. He Wing Blasts my Cyber Dragon, which is not the worst thing in the world. I'm fine drawing it again, but I won't be able to summon it for a while. But it is technically a -1 for him. Even though that Disc Commander can recur the cards later, he has to find a way to summon it first, like another Limit Reverse. He's just going to go ahead and set a monster. It looks like another Card Trooper, and I draw the Cyber Dragon, of course. Flip Skelengel, get another draw. Is a D Prison. Still no darks, but that's fine, because we still have board presence with this DD Warrior Lady. Here, maybe I should have set the Thunderhand. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I really wish I had, because then he ends up Wing Blasting my DD Warrior Lady, meaning this Thunderhand in grave has nothing to trigger it now. But if I had set the Thunderhand, I would have. Or if I had even Tribute summoned the Cyber Dragon over the Skelengel, that would have been good too. And then he is going to Heavy Storm, which is what I was kind of afraid of. And I end up Judgmenting it for 3,100. 3,100 life points. Because I really want to save this bottomless trap hole, I guess. I mean, this way it's a 1-for-1. If Heavy resolves, it's a +1. And I really need all the defense I can get right now. Maybe I don't need all the defense I can get right now, but I want the defense, so I want this bottomless in case something goes wrong. But then he plays Grappler Anger, and now I really regret not setting the Thunderhand, because this Grappler Anger can get it can actually get its effect off now. since I have no monsters to stop the attack, which is crazy. That 100 damage, giving him a revive. So he's going to trigger that, revive the Disc Commander, which I could have prevented if I had just set this Thunder Hand, or normal summon to the Cyber Dragon, but I didn't. He's at 8 cards in deck, which is crazy from all those card trooper mills. Then he's going to Synchro 2 with the Grappler Anger and the Disc Commander. So he's low on cards, but he doesn't have any pressure at the moment, because all his Maliciouses are gone, and he wasn't able to like stick a Tribute monster this game, or even like summon one in the first place. So we just go ahead and summon Cyber Dragon again. Still no darks, but it happens, I guess. Oh, after this game I did actually, or after this match, I ended up cutting Skelengel for Dekoichi. One, because Dekoichi has better stats, and I forgot it existed at the time. And two, because I actually did have like a disproportionate ratio. I had too many lights compared to darks, and cutting Skelengel for Dekoichi fixed the ratios a bit. He's going to go ahead and Synchro Summon before I go to battle phase, so I can't attack his stuff. And in this case, I can simply bottomless the Armades. And then hit for 2100, which is awesome. And he takes it, and here I can set 2 back row because he's already burned his Heavy Storm. And we set the DD Warrior Lady because I learned my lesson last time from not setting extra monster. This does play into Dark Hole, unfortunately, but yeah. But, and he had the Dark Hole, because of course he did, because he drew like, 35 of his 40 cards. But when Dark Hole pops the stuff, I get to bring back Thunder Hand, so I still have some defense. And it does make me destroy a card, so I did have to destroy this Limit Reverse, which turns on his Treeborn Frog. Not ideal, but the Thunder Hand pop is mandatory, and it was the only card on his side of the field, because Dark Hole is already in the graveyard by the time Thunder Hand comes out. He summons Stratos, and this time I do bottomless the Stratos, and it looks like he had no search targets anyway, because he's milled all of his deck. Yeah, and this time I killed the Stratos because I really did not want it attacking my only monster. And it worked out well for me that he didn't have another search target for it. We play the Breaker, and he goes -1 to destroy it, but that turns on my Blackluster Soldier. And it would turn on my second Thunder Hand either way. And now that I have a Darkened Grave, I can Blackluster Soldier for game. Assuming no Gores, but he milled most of his deck and I didn't see any Gores, so I think it's safe to assume he doesn't play it. Or I would have seen at least one get milled. Because Gores is at 3 in this format. Despite the lower power level, Gores is like one of those things that helps prevent like one-sided games. And it leads to some like pretty interesting situations. Oh, he asked if I don't play spells, but yeah, I do play 10 spells. I just somehow did not see any of them that game. Just how it goes sometimes. Yep, and we're going to go into game 2. He chooses for me to go first this time. It's what I always choose. I choose to go second for that extra card. Here, this is interesting. I open Spirit Reaper, but I also open Gores. So I want to summon the Gores before setting the Spirit Reaper, since this does tend to stick. If they don't want to like burn removal on it. And the longer this sticks, the longer Gores is dead in my hand. So I'm gonna try to pull the Gores off first. And see where that gets me. He's gonna go for a quick Formula Synchron with the Treeborn, and pass. Here I go Breaker. Oh yeah, this is a big misplay on my part. That Skelengel I should have flip summoned first. Especially because he had Treeborn Frog in play, it was a good assumption that his back row was chainable, meaning it's probably a Reigeki Break or a Phoenix Wing Windblast, so I really should have flip summoned my Skelengel to get the draw off of its effect before like forcing out his back row, because he ended up top decking my Skelengel before I could even trigger it. So pretty significant misplay on my part. I missed out on an entire extra card that I would have otherwise had, unfortunately. And then his Stratos is going to beat over my Gores, and now I'm in like kind of a really bad spot. I have no back row, and like kind of no momentum. Like this Cyber Dragon dies to literally any tribute monster, or like a million other things, like a Malicious go for a level 7 synchro. Yeah, I don't have a lot going on. He's gonna do another Stratos, just fill up his hand, get his plays in motion. He does pass, meaning he couldn't out my Cyber Dragon at the time, which is nice. But I'd really like to get the scores on the board. I'm not that far behind, but it sure feels like I am. Like, with no back row, you know, I have like... I'm in a very fragile position, I guess. He rolls a 1 on the Snipe Hunter, which is insane. Very happy about that. Yeah. The risky part of Cosmic is, like, against his deck, like, if he plays Treeborn, all his back row is chainable, and I really should have been more careful with that Cosmic. I should have just set it, but I wanted to clear his back row to get an attack in with Spirit Reaper. So I accepted the risk of, like, he might just chain the back row, because I just wanted it out of the way so that Spirit Reaper could connect. And I think it ended up discarding a... Oh, no, it hasn't discarded yet. What did I hit? I hit a Caius, so I guess... I don't know why he didn't summon that Caius before. Did he not have it at the time? I'm kind of confused. Because he could have tributed his... Or he could have played Caius to deal with my Cyber Dragon. So I guess I just have to assume he didn't draw it yet. Here I Gracefuled finally, hoping for some back row. Oh yeah, I discarded the Solemn, which is like... Boy, was I must have really wanted this Smashing Ground. I don't know. I discarded that Solemn and ended up being really bad because he was able to Heavy Storm my only back row, which I could have saved if I had set the Solemn instead of taking the Smashing Ground or keeping the Gores. I really, especially with like a board this big, I should have just discarded the Gores, honestly. So yeah, a couple misplays this game. Kind of played stupid. I should have got the extra draw off Skull Angel at the start. I should have kept my Solemn in case of Heavy Storm. Yeah, he just gets so much momentum here because I wasn't able to bottomless either of these big sinkers that are about to come out. He kind of pops off with his malicious plays. Yeah, just makes two very big guys, and Smashing Ground only deals with one of them. Draws a card off Ancient Fairy Dragon and deals like 5,000 damage to me right here. Because both of these can just attack over my Spirit Reaper and put me on Death's Door. Or deal with my Cyber Dragon, either one. Yeah, and like I said, this Gores is just dead in my hand if he doesn't like destroy the Spirit Reaper. Yeah, I really should have just discarded the Gores. Because then I would have had Judgment for the Heavy Storm. And then Bottomless and Smashing Ground would have dealt with the two Synchros. And I would have had no cards in hand, but I think my Cyber Dragon would have still been on the board. And my Spirit Reaper would have still been on the board. So yeah, I think there's a very good chance I could have won this game if I had just kept the Judgment instead of burning it like an idiot. Yeah, Treeborn comes back, he rises my Spirit Reaper, and yeah, that he wasn't attacking for game there because I technically had Gores, but his level 9 Synchro was so big that it could just attack over the Gores tokens. Or attack over Gores and the token. Like I had no way to clear. And he had like a few cards still left in his hand for follow-up, I think. So here we're gonna go into game 3. Since I lost, I choose to go second this time, so I can get that extra draw at the start, because, you know, I like those extra cards. Especially in a deck like the one I'm playing, where, like, card advantage is kind of everything, and I'm trying to, like, build a slight lead and hold on to it as long as I can. That extra card can make all the difference. I hold this Graceful Charity just because, like, I don't know what I need yet, since we're in such early stages of the game. That, like, I don't know what this Graceful Charity is going to need to find, so I just hold it until, like, I'm looking for a specific thing. So, like, maximize the use I get out of it. Don't want to discard the wrong thing and regret it later, like that Solemn Judgment. it was such a dumb move looking back on it, you know, like in hindsight. I don't know, I didn't keep the Judgment. That Gores was, like, so dead. If my board was getting cleared to make Gores live at that point, I was probably losing anyway. Cyber Dragon puts in some work here. He's putting a big body on the field. He does Snipe Hunter it. And then that Cerebral actually combos with Snipe Hunter pretty well because you get to revive it and then make a level 6 synchro. But thankfully I have Mirror Force if he doesn't choose to bounce it. And if he does, then I'm up an additional card. And if he bounces it, I get Gores. So like I'm in a win-win situation here. He's gonna swing 2300 into my Gores, which feels great. And now I just have 5k damage on board off one card. Gores is so good. Here I can like smashing ground, but obviously I'd rather just, you know, attack over it and hold my smashing ground until it's something I can't just deal with by attacking. And now at this point I do play the Graceful Charity because I like to make Barrows live sooner than later. And like I'm about to clear his board, so being able to like fill up my hand with whatever I need, like now is the time to do it basically. When I have like a solid lead prepared, and this will let me hold on to it. Now I have 4 back row, including a Judgment to stop Heavy Storm, and Barrows for follow-up. Like I'm in a kind of an unbreakable board type of situation here. I was almost kind of tempted to discard a trap and summon the Barrows there, but I chose not to just because it wouldn't have quite given me game anyway. He would have still had 700 life points left. Like, so I might as well just hold on to it so I can get some value out of the removal effect, rather than just throwing it on the board for the attack points. Okay, here I joked that like if he heavies, I'm cooked. But he was like, "You set 4 without Judgment." No, I didn't. We don't set 4 without Judgment. I'm way too conservative of a player for that. He does Dark Hole, which makes me very happy that I kept the Barrows because now I have follow up. If I had dumped the Barrows on board, Dark Hole would have punished me so hard and I would have had to Judgment it, and then I would have got 3 for 1 by a Heavy Storm afterward. Which maybe I still win since I have, you know, 8,000 power still on board and he used his Dark Hole, but better safe than sorry. I'd rather keep the Barrows in hand in case I need to follow up. But at this point with Judgment and stuff, I was so far ahead that it's probably fine to negate the Dark Hole there. I just did not want to take the -2 to Heavy Storm. So I took a -1 to Dark Hole instead. He's going to Junk Synchron. Really cool combo with Malicious. Junk Synchron puts 2 Tuners on board, and then a single Malicious Engrave can put 2 Malicious on board, and you get a level 8 and a level 9 Synchro for 1 card in hand, which is like pretty high value. Thankfully I have a ton of back row to deal with it, so I'm not really scared. We're going to bottomless the first one, and then let's see how we deal with the second one. It's going to be an Ancient Fairy Dragon. And yeah, and here I Void Trap Hole it, so he doesn't even get the draw. Very good counter to Ancient Fairy Dragon. Because usually, like, if you bottomless or deprison or torrential tribute, they still get the draw. Well, if you torrential, you would do it first, but bottomless or deprison or mirror force or smashing ground or whatever, they still get the draw. With Void Trap Hole, it negates the effect and then destroys it, so they don't get the draw. And then here he's able to set his last card in hand to activate Celestial and fill his hand back up for 2 cards. And that was his only Celestial. He doesn't have a second one yet. And now we are kind of even on cards, but I'm able to summon Barrows and just put a huge body on board. So we banish a monster spell and trap for Barrows. Banish his back row and a monster and spell from graveyard. He's going to change my battle position, but I'm going to Solemn Judgment to negate that so that I can attack for game this turn. Yeah, here I got ahead of myself. I meant to normal summon the Thunder Hand. But yeah, so we just like talked about it and I was like, oops, I had Thunder Hand. But yeah, I'm like, he's so cooked at this point. He has 2 Destiny draws and I still have the Mirror Force face down. GG. So I hope y'all liked that game. Hope that like entices you to try the format. Please try it out. Our Discord invite link is in the description of this video. And we have daily quests and people playing every day. And I really hope y'all like join the format and try it out. It's very fun. It's some of the most fun I've had playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In a while. Just like these lower power decks with like a lot of back and forth. And also please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more gameplay videos. And I'll see you all in the next video.